Hey dudes and dudettes, it's Simon Hurley and welcome to another Simon Hurley Create Monthly Challenge video. Today we are doing a challenge for the month of August, and this month we're doing birthday cards. So in today's video I have 2 fun and easy birthday cards to create using Simon Hurley Create products. And if you create any birthday projects using my products this month, be sure to use the hashtag #SHCreatedToCreate on social media so we can see your projects and you'll be entered to win a prize. Alright, without further ado, let's get into creating. Alright, so for the 2 cards in today's video, I'm going to be using the Cakewalk stamp set from Simon Hurley Create. And I love this one because it has more sophisticated images and then some more playful images, and you can kind of create either kind of card with it. So for this first one, I'm going to take the larger bear image and I'm going to stamp it down using some jet black Archival ink on some watercolor cardstock. And then I'm going to do a little bit of masking. And this bear was made to hold any of the images inside the stamp set. So I'm going to make him holding the cake here. And the one thing I'm going to want to do is mask off the arms of the bear. You could do this with masking paper and cut them out, but all I like to do is go in with little pieces of purple tape or any type of masking tape and mask off the little arms by ripping off little pieces of tape. I find that to be a little bit easier and a big time saver because I don't have time to stamp down a mask and cut that all out. So then I'm going to go in and stamp down the cake on top, and basically anything you mask off is going to be in the front. So when I peel off that tape, those arms are going to be in front and around the cake. So if I wanted the cake to be in front, I could stamp that first. Then I'm going to go in with a couple different colors of Simon Hurley Create ink, and a lot of you guys have been asking a little bit about my watercolor process and how I paint with these. So I just wanted to give you a quick look at that in today's video. So for this bear, I'm going to go in with a light wash of my color Gur, and I like to go in with a little paintbrush and some water. I found that to be a lot more easily controlled than a water brush. So for the first layer of color, I just go in with a medium amount of water and I'll go in and lay down that color all over. I do this just to get a light wash, and then I'm going to go in and do a little bit of shading. So once that's dried a little bit, I'll go in and dip my brush in a little bit more dry with a little bit less water on it, and I'll go into some more of the solid portions of the ink and lay down a little bit of shadow. So here I laid it down around the arms, around where he's holding the cake, underneath his mouth, and around his ears. Just really anywhere that you want it to be a little bit darker for some depth and dimension. And that's really the way that I color. It's pretty simple. So here on this cake, again, I laid down a lighter wash, and then I'll go in and add a little bit of darker color around those arms where I want it to be a little bit darker and more shadowed. Then I'll go in with some colors for the candles as well and quickly watercolor those in. And then I also wanted to do a little bit of a background or kind of table for this little bear here. And to do a light wash of color in the background, all I did was grab a lot more water this time, and I'll go in with the color, mix it together on my work surface, and then I'll pick it up and move it to my cardstock. I find if I add the water to the color right away, you get a more even wash of color. And then I'll add lots of water and bring that out into white so that it fades out really nice and easily, and I can blot off any color that I don't want. So then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go in and cut around the bear up top. So I'll cut that around and add a straight line down along that border that we created. Then I'm going to stamp down the sentiment that says "Have your cake and eat it too" from that same stamp set. And then to create the background, since we cut out that top area, I wanted a colorful background. So I took the bubble wrap stencil from Simon Hurley Create and I started ink blending onto a Gina K colored card base using some Clear Skies ink for a nice tone-on-tone effect. Blended that out into the background, added everything together, and I just love how that looks. It gives a really fun and playful look to the card with that bear and the coloring that we did and that fun blue background. Then for this next card, I want a more sophisticated look. So I'm going to create my own pattern paper kind of with one of the images from the stamp set. So here I just used the balloon image and stamped it down in jet black Archival ink all over the card. And I mean all over. I just kind of started stamping down in little clusters, and I wanted the balloons to overlap so that when I stamp later in colored inks, you get different variations of color as they overlap on top of each other, which I think is really cool. So to create my own pattern paper, it looks a little bit weird at first and like it's not going to look great since they're kind of separated. But you'll see at the end, I kind of fill in this whole piece of cardstock with all these balloons, make sure they overlap, make sure they're touching each other to get a really cool pattern in the end. And I think sometimes people second guess, using just one image, but you really can take one image out of a stamp set, whether it's large or small, and create a full background out of it by just mixing up some colors. So here you'll see I'm going in with a more solid image. This is actually a two-step stamp. So this solid balloon is meant to go in there, fit right on top, and stamp it in with your ink colors. So here I went in with some Simon Hurley Create inks. I'll start off with Guppy, and I'm just going to choose 4 or 5 of each of these balloons and stamp them sporadically around the card. Then I went in with Prom Queen next, and you'll see as I overlap there in some areas, it creates a fun new color in between, and you can see that orange underneath, which I think is so cool. So I'll just go in and stamp 4 of those pink balloons, and then I'll go in with Clear Skies next. And these are just colors that go really nicely together and are really bright and will give a bold, vibrant look. Another thing I really like about that stamp is it has that kind of balloon highlight in it already, which is so much fun and gives it a cool graphic look. Then finally, I finished it off with a little bit of Psych, and I just love this kind of neon greenish yellow color, and it goes perfectly along with this background. So what started as something that was totally sporadic and that didn't look great with just all those balloons, I ended up loving in the end by adding a little bit of color. So I stamped down that happy birthday sentiment, added it all together, and I love this clean and simple but totally graphic card. Alright guys, I hope you really enjoyed that video as much as I did. Of course, you have lots of options with this awesome cakewalk set. You can create sophisticated birthday cards or more fun and playful ones as well. So leave a comment down below which one you liked better, the one with balloons or the more playful bear card. And be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Click that subscribe button down below so you never miss another card making video like this one from me. And I'll see you guys very soon. Have a great day. Bye!